Okay, so we are going to speak of the glories of Govardhan Puja. Govardhan Puja. What happens is the second day of Diwali, Krishna was around 7 years old that time, and he was seeing everybody is busy. Nanda Maharaj is busy collecting so many things for offering. Some big puja is going to happen. All the brahmanas are busy. All the servants are busy. All the Brajbasis are busy. So he goes to his father. He says, Baba, Baba, what are you doing? So Nand Maharaj, he was really very busy. You know how busy we get when we have to do puja, right? You have to collect so many things. You have to clean up so much. It's arranged. So he's like, okay, this boy, small boy, let me just ignore him for now. So he didn't really answer him. Says, we are busy now, we are going to do a puja. Again, Krishna started asking, Baba, Baba, what you're doing? So then Nanda Maharaj said, okay, now this boy seems to be interested a little bit. So let me say, okay, well, we are going to arrange Indra Puja. Then again, he's like, Baba, Baba, but why we are going to do this Indra Puja? Then the Maharaj is like, oh my God. Okay, he said, we are doing this puja because, we are cowherd people and we keep cows. So the cows need fresh grass. So we are praying to Lord Indra so that he can bless us with a lot of rain so that we can have nice grass. Huh? So then, one moment. Okay, so now that's better, I hope. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. Okay, I'm going to stop that. Thank you.
yeah,
So then, well, Nanda Maharaj was, so then he was like, yeah, so I'm doing that because of the rains. Then the cows will eat nice soft grass, and in that way they will give us nice milk. We are surviving on this milk from the cows. So then Krishna is like, but Baba, rains are also falling in the ocean. Rains are falling here, rains are falling ocean. Rain doesn't see where to fall. Why you have to do Indra Puja? And Nanda Maharaj is like, see, I'm really busy now. Let me do the puja. We have really a lot of preparations to do. So then Krishna is like, no, but really, listen to me. Why you want to do Indra Puja? You see, what had happened was because Lord Indra had gotten proud. And so Krishna wanted to teach him a lesson. Krishna does not like his devotees to get proud, his servants to be proud. So, because Indra was like, he's the king of heaven after all. Lord Indra is a very powerful person. He's the king of heaven. So then, and also Krishna wanted to establish that, you're doing something which is not in the scriptures because he started asking Nanda Maharaj then, okay, tell me where in the Shastra it is said you have to do this Indra Puja. Tell me, is it something from the Shastras or is it because, it's a family tradition, you have been doing it since many generations, and so you want to continue with it? Yeah, so Krishna was making a point here because sometimes we may do something, oh, just because it's a tradition, everybody does it, and so I'm going to do it. So Krishna wants to stop that. He wants only authorized things to happen. So then he was saying, we work. So Krishna started speaking here now a philosophy which is kind of like a atheistic philosophy, like karma mimamsa. Karma mimamsa is like holding karma the supreme. So he started saying, okay, we work hard and for sure we are going to get the rains, for sure we'll get the nice grass for the cows. It's all based on our karma, right? Actually, karma, yes, karma is there. But the lawmaker, the results, we are always dependent on Krishna. That's why Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that you have a right to perform your duty, but don't get attached to the results because results are given by Krishna. So anyway, he was speaking. Then Nanda Maharaj was, that this boy is. So then Nanda Maharaj is like, so what do you want to do? He's saying you should pray, in fact, do puja to Govardhan. Govardhan is so kind to us. He's giving us soft grass for our cows. He's giving us fresh water. That time Govardhan had a lot of waterfalls. He's giving us a lot of water for us to drink. He's giving us very nectarian fruits. He's giving us our vegetables. So we should in fact pray to Govardhan. Because of Govardhan we are able to survive. It's giving us shelter. So then Nanda Maharaj was like, okay, let's do one thing. We'll do Indra Puja and we'll do Govardhan Puja. We'll do both the pujas. So Krishna's like, no, you don't need to do Indra Puja. Nowhere in the Shastra it is said. Rather, it's my suggestion, it's my desire that you worship Govardhan. And Krishna was speaking in such a charming way and so convincing. Nanda Maharaj got convinced. He said, okay, all this paraphernalia that is there, we'll use for Govardhan Puja. Then he asked Krishna, okay, what we have to do, how the puja has to be done. So Krishna said, make lot of food, make pakoras, make kachori, make samosa, make puris, make kheer, make different types of sweets made of milk, different types of fried snacks, salty snacks. Then we are going to gather all this and make offering to Govardhan. So a lot of preparation food was prepared, offered to Govardhan, and actually the personality of Govardhan came to accept all these offerings. And he started eating all of it. And he ate all of it. He finished it. And he said, Anior, Anior, means give me more, give me more. So then all the Brajbasis quickly they prepared more food, more food, more food. And Govardhan was eating and eating, and he kept saying Anior, and they kept cooking and cooking, and he kept eating and eating. And finally they were like, Krishna, what shall we do? We have been cooking, and then Giriraj has been eating. Well, they had forgotten to put tulsi. So then they offered a tulsi. And then Giriraj was very satisfied. He accepted that tulsi. He was very satisfied. And all the food that he had eaten, he manifested again for them to take it as prasad. So Govardhan ate it, and also he gave it to them. So everyone could enjoy the prasad then. Then they asked Krishna, well, now what shall we do? Now Krishna said, everyone, we are going to do Govardhan Parikrama. Put the women and the children in the bullock carts, and let's do Gau Puja, because cows are sacred for us. We are surviving because of cows. So they arranged to do Gau Puja. The cows were beautifully decorated, and there was arti was done for the cows. The cows were fed nicely. Then they did the parikram of the Govardhan mountain. After doing parikram, the women were they're sitting in the bullock carts, and then the men were walking in front. Then they came, and then they also the parikram happened, and everyone was satisfied. Now everyone take prasad. Everyone enjoyed a huge, very delicious, sumptuous feast. So then everyone was happy except Indra. He's like, where is my puja? I'm the king of heaven. What is this? They are listening to this small boy. Who is this Krishna? He's talking too much. They're supposed to puja to me. The Brijbasis have forgotten how much favor I'm doing to them. What's wrong with them? I'm going to kill all of them. Then they will be sure never in the future to ever do this kind of mistake again. So then what happens? He said he calls his Samvartaka clouds. Those clouds which are called in when the end of the world, when the devastation is going to happen, when they're going to inundate the entire world with water. He tells those clouds, says, you go pour your showers, your rains on Vrindavan. I don't want anyone to be alive there. The cows, the calves, the animals, all the Brajbasis should be dead. How come they're just listening to Krishna and not offering me the worship that I deserve? Yeah. So the Samartaka clouds, of course, they listened to Indra. And then It was raining, pouring like crazy. The Brajvasis got so scared. They were like, oh God, this is going to be the end of the world. Lord Indra is upset. We shouldn't have listened to Krishna. But of course, that doesn't occur to their minds. Then do they run to whenever there's a problem? They always go to Krishna. So they went to Krishna. Krishna, save us. We are going to die. Our animals are going to die. Everything was floating by. There was like the whole area was flooded. The houses were floating. The animals were floating. Krishna said, don't worry. Come with me. They go to Govardhan. And he said, I'm going to lift the Govardhan. The Krishna's friends started saying that you can't lift Govardhan. You're so small boy yourself. You don't have the strength. No, I can lift Govardhan. Prove that you can lift Govardhan. What do I have to do to prove? Okay, there's this huge tree. At least twist the branch of that tree, then we know. So Krishna twisted the branch of that tree in such a way, till today the tree grows like that, with a very twisted branch. So the boys were convinced. They said, okay, lift it. And Krishna lifted the Govardhan as as a child lifts up a mushroom. So it's not that he was struggling, oh, I so much effort for me. No, just as a child picks up a mushroom, Krishna very easily picked up Govardhan. That also he picked in the left hand. We say left hand is weaker, right? He picks out on the left hand, and that also on the pinky of the left hand. The pinky is the weakest finger that we have. So to show that he has immense strength, he's not bothered. He has immeasurable strength. It was not a big deal for Krishna to hold this Govardhan. And he invited all the Brajvasis, come inside, come. And they found shelter under the Govardhan. So what happens also, because Krishna's fulfilling the desire in this way of the Brajvasis, because Brajvasis, they wanted to be with Krishna all the time. They would be with him in the morning. Then his parents or the elders would be with him in the morning. Then in the day, he would go to the forest with the cows, with his friends. Then he would come back in the evening. Then in the night, he was with the gopis. But they all had a desire, oh, we want to be 24 hours with Krishna. So by this pastime, Krishna also arranged that all the Brajvasis could be with him 24 hours. For 7 days and 7 nights, they were all there under this Govardhan hill. Uh, and they're so happy. They're so blissful. And they're looking at Krishna, and Krishna is looking at them. And nobody's feeling hungry, nobody's feeling sleepy. They're just completely blissful to look at Krishna. And Krishna is happy to be with his devotees. And by the time Andra is taking like a daily report, we check what's the daily report. So he's asking the clouds, okay, how many people have you killed? How much has it inundated? They're like, no, we can't do anything. Krishna is holding the Govardhan hill and they are all under the hill. Indra says, you pour harder, you break down the hill, go with more force. So then they try harder and harder, but they couldn't even scratch off anything from Govardhan. So, and here the Brajbasis, their heart's desire is also fulfilled and they're feeling, and each of them is thinking Krishna is looking at them. Krishna is smiling beautifully at them. Each of them is feeling satisfied that Krishna is with me. And over there, the only person not satisfied is Indra. He's getting more and more mad. What's happening? What's happening? Then finally, after 7 days, 7 nights, Indra realized, oh my God, what am I doing? This is my Lord himself. What am I doing? Of course, I cannot conquer him. Of course, I cannot kill his people. Of course, I cannot do any harm to him. He's the Supreme Lord himself. Indra realizes his mistake and he's so scared. He doesn't know what to do. He's like, I've had it now. When we make a big mistake, then we may feel so afraid that we don't know what to do. Indra's like, I've had it now. And Krishna's going to be so angry at me. I don't know what to do. He went to Brahmaji. He asked Brahma, what shall I do? I've done this thing now. What shall I do? So Brahma says, you have to go apologize to Krishna, but you don't go alone. You take Surabhi, the mother of the cows in the spiritual world. She's the mother of the cow, of all the cows. So he says, you take Surabhi cow with you. So then Indra goes, and of course, Indra had told the clouds, please stop all this, disperse yourself, go away. And then all the water is evaporated, everything, Krishna makes everything all right. And Krishna puts the Govardhan down. While they were while Krishna was holding the hill, some of the cowherd men, they were also holding the sticks we are seeing in the picture. They're holding the sticks because they're like, how Krishna can't hold the hill. We'll help him hold the hill. So when they are coming down, when Krishna wants to place the hill down, he was telling the Brajvasis, you all go, I'm going to place it down. They're like, no, we are the ones who are holding it with our sticks, you go from here first. And Yashoda Mai is also thinking that, oh, this hill is being stirred because my husband Nanda Baba is holding the hill. Actually, it was Krishna. He didn't need anyone's strength, but they are thinking it's them because their love for Krishna is so much. They love Krishna as their own. So anyway, Krishna tells everyone, please go out. And then he keeps the hill back, Govardhan back. And then Indra is very afraid. He's calm and he's offering prayers to Krishna. He does Abhishek, Surabhi cow, Mother Surabhi. She does Abhishek for Krishna with milk. And that is called Govinda Kund. That place is still there. Govinda Kund is there. Devotees go there when they're visiting. And Indra was very ashamed of himself. He was asking for forgiveness. And then, of course, we see that sometime later in another pastime again, Indra does something. But this pastime of Govardhan, we can see that Krishna is always there to give shelter to his devotees. He didn't let anything happen to his devotees. And his devotees also, there was so much danger that they come instinctively to Krishna. That's the first. Brajvasis, whenever they're in danger, the first thing they go is to Krishna. Krishna, please save us. And Krishna protects his devotees in such a beautiful way. Govardhan is called Haridas Varya. Haridas means servant of Krishna. So there are many devotees, they are called Haridas. Yudhishthir Maharaj is called Haridas. Prahlad Maharaj is called Haridas, servant of Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya told us the best servants of Krishna are the gopis. In Bhagavatam, the gopis are saying that the best devotee is Govardhan, Giriraj Govardhan. They are calling him Haridas Varya, the best of the devotees of Krishna. So Govardhan is Krishna himself, but he's also the devotee of Krishna. He's Krishna himself. That's how he ate all the offerings. And that's why Krishna is saying you worship Govardhan. But so Govardhan is in the mood of both. Of he's a devotee of Krishna, he's serving Krishna. As we said, by all the soft grasses for the cows, there's so much pasturing grounds for the cows to pasture, to go and feed on. And then there is hiding places, there's playing places for Krishna and his friends, there's caves for them to take shelter when it is too rainy or too sunny. There is fruits which they eat. There's so many pastime places in Govardhan. So it's the best devotee of Krishna. And Radha Kund, Sham Kund, both are there in Govardhan. Radha Kund and Sham Kund, these both special kunds are there. And Govardhan, um, so he has a very, very special place. And Govardhan Puja is done the next day of Diwali. So he's Lord Krishna himself. There's a story in Garga Samhita, this story comes where Narad Muni, so in this story, Narad Muni is telling this story now. And he is saying to the king of Mithila, now what is he saying? That one time there was a Brahman and he went to, this Brahman's name was Vijay, and this Brahman went to Mathura. You know, people go to holy places to get their sins removed. So he went to Mithila. He did a lot of austerities there. And then, after doing his religious or whatever he wanted to do, he went to Govardhan Hill. Then from Govardhan Hill, he took a stone and he was walking in the Braj Bhumi, there are 12 forests. He was going from one forest to another, walking with the stone. Then he left the Braj Mandal, you know, the entire Vrindavan, Mathura area. He left and he was walking back home. He was suddenly, there came a big monster in front of him, a huge, ginormous monster, 3 heads. Then monster had 3 heads, 3 chests, 6 arms, 6 legs, 3 hands. He has a big lips, big mouth. He had fangs. Fangs. He has tongue, which was 7 hands long. And he was going to come to eat this Brahman, Vijay Brahman. So this Brahman, he had the stone with himself, right? The Govardhan stone. So he struck the monster with that stone. And suddenly, the monster gave up the body. He got transformed into a celestial being. He became a very handsome, dark person, lotus eyes, wearing yellow garments. He was wearing a garland of forest flowers. He had a crown. He was wearing earrings. He had a flute, a stick. He looked like Cupid himself. He looked like Lord Krishna. And now this personality, this liberated person, started bowing down to the Brahman, Vijay, and said, I'm so grateful to you. You are working for the benefit of everyone else. You have transformed me from being a monster. Simply, you touched me with the stone and you have delivered me. Brahman said, I have no power to deliver you. And I don't know that how come that this stone I touched you with, that such a transformation have happened and you have become liberated. He got a spiritual body. So then this this liberated soul, he said that this is because of this Govardhan Hill. Govardhan Hill is called Giriraj, king of the mountains. Simply by seeing Giriraj, one can get the supreme goal of life. By seeing Giriraj, one gets million times more pious result than one can get by going to Mount Gandhamandan. Many people would go to Mount Gandhamandan to do austerities for pilgrimage. So by just seeing Giriraj, one gets millions of times more the benefit. And one gets perfection simply by seeing Giriraj. And then he continues to say that if one does austerities for 5,000 years on Mount Kedar, that much one can get by just being one single moment on Giriraj. And then he continues to say that one may give one may give 1 bara of gold in charity on the Malaya hill. So one gets pious benefit for that. But one can get millions of times more benefit if one can stay for 1 month on Giriraj. So even though one is very sinful, one gives charity, golden charity on Mount Mangal, one gets a spiritual form. But that same benefit one can get simply by seeing Giriraj. So there is no holy place as sacred as Giriraj. So Giri Govardhan ki Jai. This is coming in the Garga Samhita. Narad Muni is saying this. So Giriraj is also called Haridas Varya. Giriraj, near Giriraj, Govardhan, there is a village, still the village called Anior. How Govardhan kept saying, right? Anior, Anior. There's a village called Anior over there. And that twisted tree branches there still. At Govardhan, there is the Radha Kund, Sham Kund, where Krishna and Radharani had many pastimes. There's also Kusum Sarovar there. So in Kusum Sarovar at Govardhan. at Kusum Sarovar. One time Narad Muni, he wanted to enter the Ras Leela. So, but in a male form, he cannot enter. So he dipped himself in Kusum Sarovar. He came out as a gopi, Naradi gopi. And in that gopi form, he entered the Ras Leela. Then after the Ras Leela finished, he entered again Kusum Sarovar, again changed back into his male form as Narad Muni. So Kusum Sarovar, even Uddhav stays there. Uddhav was a cousin of Krishna, his friend. He's his cousin, his friend, his consultant, advisor rather. Not he was his advisor. He looked also like Krishna. So Uddhav had gone to Vrindavan. Many people think Uddhav went to Vrindavan to teach to the gopis knowledge, but actually Krishna had sent Uddhav to Vrindavan to learn from gopis what is real love for Krishna. And after Uddhav met the gopis and he saw how much they love Krishna, he wanted to take dust from their feet. But he knew that the gopis would not give it to him because out of their humility. Because Uddhav was known to be a very knowledgeable person. Uddhav is a disciple of Brahaspati. Brahaspati is the priest of all the demigods. So then Uddhav prayed to the gopis. He prayed that I want to become a creeper here in Vrindavan. And so that when you pass by, when you're walking here and there, I can just get the dust off your lotus feet. And so Uddhav is there in Vrindavan in the form of this in creeper, Lata. Uddhav Lata is called. There's a temple also there where there is Uddhav reading Bhagavatam because after Krishna left the planet, his queens were very, very disturbed and they somehow reached to Vrindavan and they saw Jamuna, Kalindi. Kalindi is also one of the wives of Krishna. But she was not morose. So they asked Kalindi, oh, you're not morose. We are so morose. We don't know what to do. Krishna has left us. Kalindi said, you hear Bhagavatam from Uddhav. And so they approached Uddhav in Vrindavan and they asked Uddhav to speak to them Bhagavatam. So Uddhav told Parikshit Maharaj, you arrange, I'm going to speak Bhagavatam, you arrange that Kali does not disturb us because age of Kali was soon approaching. So, or had already begun kind of. Yeah, already begun, just the very beginning. So Uddhav said, you make sure Kali does not disturb us. I'm going to speak Bhagavatam to them for 1 month. So Parikshit Maharaj said, I also want to hear Bhagavatam. So Uddhav told him, now is not the time. Your time will come to hear Bhagavatam. You will hear Bhagavatam from Sukadev Goswami. And then, yeah, we know that, Parikshit Maharaj hears Bhagavatam from Sukadev Goswami. So the queens, they relished Bhagavatam. They heard Bhagavatam from Uddhav for 1 month. At the end of 1 month, because these queens of Krishna, these 16,108 queens, they were not ordinary queens. They were celestial demigoddesses. They heard Bhagavatam from Uddhav. Then they realized who they are, their own spiritual form. They realized their spiritual identity and they returned back to the spiritual world. So Kusum Sarovar is also there in Govardhan. There's many, many pastime places of Krishna in Govardhan. So it's a very, very auspicious day. Very auspicious to do Govardhan Puja. Very auspicious to do the parikram of Govardhan in the temples and ISKCON temples around the world on this day. A Govardhan is made of a lot of food, different types of food preparations are there. A lot of sira and puris and kheer and kachori, samosa, different varieties of sweets and fruits. And then devotees go around, they do the parikram of this Govardhan. As the Brajvasis did parikram of Govardhan 5,000 years ago, the devotees do parikram of this Govardhan is as good as going around Govardhan in Braj. So very auspicious time. And all this happens in the month of Kartik. Kartik is so auspicious. And there's so many pastimes happening in Kartik, which helps us to take more and more shelter of Krishna, hear more and more of Krishna's pastimes, his Vrindavan pastimes. I just wanted to share this with you all. Any comments or questions?
No, it was really good to hear the stories.
Yeah, it's we get a lot of spiritual benefit just by hearing about Govardhan, about Krishna's pastimes. Yeah,
Beautiful.
thank you. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you
Giriraj
for today.
Govardhan
Hare
ki
Krishna.
jai. Shla Prabhupada ki